Welcome, my friends, to a new episode of Connect Your Speech. Well, in this episode, we're going to talk about a new feature of connected speech. We're going to talk about catenation. Now, I will talk first about the different definitions of catenation so that you know what we mean exactly by this term, because it is a kind of a confusing term for some reason, because according to some writers, it is a very general term, and according to others, it's a specific term. And let me clarify more. Like, some writers look at catenation as an equal term for linking. And when I say linking in English language, I mean by that linking a consonant to a vowel, or linking a vowel to a vowel. Now, that's a very general use of the term catenation. But this is not how we look at catenation in this series of videos in Connect Your Speech. We actually adopt the other opinion, which is looking more specifically at the term catenation. So for us here in the video, catenation is linking actually a consonant to a vowel. Like what, Shadi? Like when we say, for example, stand up. In connected speech, we don't want people to say stand up. We want people to say stand up. In connected speech, we don't want people to say had it. We want people to say had it. In connected speech, we don't want people to say an egg. No, we want them to say an egg, an egg, an egg. Right. So for us, catenation is linking a consonant to a vowel. But as I said, in another school, it is more general. It's about linking a consonant to a vowel and a vowel to a vowel. For us here, linking a vowel to a vowel is another connected speech term that we talked about in a previous episode, which is intrusion. And we talked about 3 intrusive sounds. We talked about the yeh and the weh and the ra. Now, how do we link a consonant to a vowel in English? The most important thing that you don't pronounce the glottal voice between the consonant at the very end of a word and the vowel at the very beginning of another word. How? Like when you say get out. Get out. That's a glottal voice. No, we don't want that. We want you to say get out. We want you to say get out, get out, get out. That's what we want. We don't want you to say something like it is, it is, it is in connected speech. No, we want you to say it is, it is, it is. We don't want you to say move on, move on, move on. No, we want you to say move on, move on, move on. We don't want you to say 7 up, 7 up, 7 up. No, we want you to say 7 up, 7 up, 7 up. Now, someone might say, Shadi, is it incorrect if I said it is? And I would say, no, it is not incorrect if you're using disconnected speech, or if you're talking slowly, or if you're trying to think. Like, for example, let's imagine that you are talking to someone and you're trying to give yourself an opportunity to think about something. And then you say, well, I believe it is a good idea. Now, it is fine when you do it like that, because this is not connected speech. But if you connect your speech, we expect you to say it's a good idea. We don't expect you to say it is a good, no. Right? Good. So, to sum up, before we move to examples by native speakers, then catenation for us in this series of Connect Your Speech is about connecting the consonant at the end of a word to the vowel at the beginning of another word. Now, let's see 3 main examples, my friends, but from different accents. We're going to listen to native speakers from America, from Britain, and from Australia. So let's go to the first example, which is an egg, or in connected speech using catenation, an egg. Let's see that. Let's go.
And with menstruation, what happens is the brain triggers the ovary to start producing an egg.
It isn't necessarily what's going to bring us satisfaction. Think of an egg, if you will. From a little hummingbird egg to an ostrich egg.
You intuitively know that there are things you can do with that that are associated with its design rather than its chemistry. You can fry an egg with this thing.
Oh yes, that's excellent advice. I couldn't boil an egg when I arrived at uni.
Oh really? Can you do it now, Neil?
And once there, she lays an egg on it, egg hatches, devoured alive, bursts out of body, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill.
Wow, I just did.
You can't do that. You get me an egg out, please?
Yeah.
Jay's girlfriend Lydia has been vegetarian for 2 years.
So we went around to the butcher. We went around to the baker. There was no candlestick maker. There was an egg place and there was some chocolate, there was coffee, there was fruit. But we went around and said, hey, we're doing this awareness raising event.
But that doesn't stop her from picking up straw and making a nest where she might lay an egg. And when she's finished that, she goes outside.
Now let's move to another example. And again, we're going to listen to different native speakers from 3 countries, America, Australia, and Britain. And this time we're going to talk about stand up, or with catenation, stand up. Let's see.
Shut up, right? If you did know, maybe stand up, get your arms in the air, maybe jump on a trampoline, maybe go for a run, maybe like take off all your clothes, look in the mirror and say, that's what it is. That's my life. That's the direction I've taken myself. Now, how do I want it to be?
What's the phrase from today from Socrates? To be is to do. So I don't stand up and say, don't ever give up. I didn't give up. There was action behind these words.
Sadly, that's what often happens. That's the status quo today. But they didn't. The dedicated civil servants inside the agency decided to stand up and call for change.
It's like she's building her own court case, and by the end, you can't help but just stand up and applaud what she's done. So if you haven't read this book, I would really recommend it. I have been saying, when I've been recommending it to people, that I would particularly recommend it to those who enjoyed or wanted to read.
Times when people stand up and demand real, significant change. This is one of those moments.
But also I think it's enabling a school to stand up and be proud of itself.
There's no one in this room, I will bet you, who hasn't at some point found themselves on the floor with their heart in tiny pieces, thinking, how am I ever going to stand up from this? Well, all of my books are about the fact that guess what? People do. People can.
It's the fact that he's reigning in me. It's the fact that he's flowing through me. It's the fact that we can stand up and say, I once was, but now am.
Just open to the audience to see if anybody in the audience would like to ask a question. So whilst, if you could just stand up and introduce yourself and your question, thanks.
Thanks, David.
Now, the last example in today's episode, which is actually had it, or in catenation, had it. Let's see how native speakers use it in different contexts.
See, I thought I was entitled to earthly glory, using my gifts and talents to build my life story. I had it all planned out, building a life about me, expecting others to want to come and see of my accomplishments and what I could achieve.
But lots of people also deserve successes like ours who haven't had it.
My grandmama told me not to do this. Why am I doing this? But I had it in my head that I was going to go there, and I just wanted to see something different.
Did a law degree and then a master's of law degree, and I only share that, which is I haven't had it easy. I've been put down.
Those jurors weeping had it. Uber fighting for girls across an ocean, girls she would never meet, had it. Pam fighting for years for her son, had it.
That makes me feel good, and the consumerism element. So suddenly I got to a place where I had a house full of stuff and I didn't really recognise some of it, or I didn't realise I had it.
They didn't get enough funding.
But had it been built, it would have worked in 1843.
Kind of moderate, we're all in it together.
Well, there's a playbook. It's actually a real thing, and it's the tobacco industry had it, and the food industry have got it. And there are certain, there's like checklist that you do, and one of them is pretending to care and sort of show, hey, we're really caring about our consumers.
And yet 7-day course is almost always prescribed, and certainly we pharmacists have had it inculcated that we must reinforce that message.
I wouldn't choose to eat it today if we had it in the cupboard.
I am Emily and I have an invisible illness. I've had it for 8 years. It's genetic, but I started getting the symptoms when I was 12.
This is the Yi 360 VR, my newest acquisition, and this is a 5.7K 360 video camera. To be perfectly honest, I've only had it for 24 hours, so I can't give you proper thoughts. I will put out a first impressions video in the next few days, and I will make a review of this as soon as humanly possible.
Now, my friends, thank you so much for watching this episode of Connect Your Speech. I hope you enjoy it, and I know that I've been away from my channel for a while, but that's because I was so busy with the CELTA course in Alexandria, Egypt. But I'm back. Thank you so much. See you again. Bye-bye.